There's a few things I need to say. The first thing I'll say is that these are, practice kind of from different textbooks. They're kind of bad because they are ABCD questions. So you'll see what I mean by bad because, they are technically ABCD questions and they can never be good because ABCD questions is pretty bad. But that's how the FE exam goes. And here is some mathematical tables that I might need. I won't need them 100%, especially the 4-year stuff. But I think there's 4-year students in here. Anyways, we'll start with this first question, which, well, we don't even have to, well, my tablet just, okay. So we're gonna start with this thing over here, and we'll try to figure out what we can do. We already know that A is wrong because there's like a second order ODE, which means that the solution has to have, E, right? And then second of all, this one looks suspicious to me, because that doesn't look right, but we can't really negate that yet. What we'll do instead is to make the auxiliary equation, which is r squared in this case, minus 4r. R squared is minus 4r plus, I don't know, 25 divided by 4. Now here, what we'll do, I'm burping a little bit. We'll add it to the minus b plus the minus. Oh, by the way, I don't even know the answers to these questions, so I'm basically going blind. So I might be wrong here. So we will have to double check somehow, which we will with some source, I don't know, with the textbooks over here. So over here, we see this, we plug it into here. Let's just plug into here real quick to see if we can actually get a right answer. We have our trusty calculator. Minus b, plus, let's go for plus. Oh, second, come on, second, no, delete that. Second, no, no second. How do you do square root here? Square root, b squared, so it's like 4, right? 4, -4, so it doesn't matter, 16. Minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 25 divided by, what was it again? 4 divided by 2. Domain error. Domain error means that there's an imaginary number. If it would ever showcase it over here, you can imagine there's a domain error, which means it has to can't be in B. Now over here we look over here because you see over here there's a 2 and 1, so one of them must not be true, and then we can look at minus B divided by 2a, and B over here is 4, so that is 4 minus 2, which equals 2. There you go. So that means it's C. Again, these questions are awful. These are ABCD questions, so I wouldn't expect much from them. Um, yeah. Okay. Next question. Oh, also I'm a little rusty, so I might make mistakes, just so you know, just excuses and excuses, but excuse or something. Hey, so over here we can look at the handout over here, which says Laplace transform over here. We can do over here, which is basically, I believe, our step function. And with our step function, we can now use this form here because we can do f of t equals 1 and f of t minus tau equals 1. Same thing. So what that tells me in general, if I can ever go back, it's basically, let's see, that's not negative for there. It must be negative because this thing. So it must be B. Let me just write down the answer so I can double check later on. Maybe every 10 questions we'll check. We can do B over here. Delete all that gunk. Over here, we have a loan question, so we have to do 10,000. And effective payment, each loan is 3,000. So, okay. After first, what's that? But okay, fair enough. We can do that really easily by multiplying by this by 1.15. Okay, 10,000. Clear. 10,000 multiplied by 1.15. That's equals to 11500. Okay. And then we can do minus 3,000. So we can just do minus 3,000. And then we can get C. Hopefully that's the correct answer again. Oh well, this one already has it. Okay. Um, oops, no. So a lot of these questions are blind, but some of them clearly I've tried it before. That one's one of the ones I did. So 15500 multiplied by 1.01 equals 15500 multiplied by 1.01 minus 350, and then multiplied by 1.01 minus 350 again. So that gives me this about, I get 15108, which we can round up to D. So we're just gonna write D over here. Okay, so what I did is basically 1,001 multiplied by 1 and then minus 350, and then you get the value from that, which is 1,05305, and then we multiply this by 1.01. Okay, let me just minimize my face. Oh, we don't want that. And then we get this form for here, and then you might, oh, well, you almost get that form yet too, actually. But you get the end, so there you go. Next one. Oh, Fibonacci sequence. Okay. And this one's a tricky one because I was thinking, what in the world is this? So why in the world would you need Fibonacci sequence? In my opinion, this question is like just dumb, but it's an ABC question. What did you expect? So this over here is basically saying A2 minus F1, add those together, which is a 5.3. and then 5.3, and then you have to minus d, add the other two, which gives you d. Yeah, this one, yeah, I don't understand why this was a question. This is this is a nonsensical question for engineer, but basically what's happening is 2 plus 2, 1 equal F3. F3 plus F2 equal F4. Now, here's the thing I want to say, what's the point? Again, a lot of these questions I haven't done, I haven't looked at. So in the future, right now we can look at it and say, yeah, you know these answers, but they don't even won't. So over here, okay, this is where we go to questions I don't really know the answers to. Um, just by looking at this, I think we can get rid of B because the only man out. But whatever. We can't see anything yet. It could be a double check on the questionnaire. But what we can do is use EXP rule. So we could do dy dx, I believe, or dt, I don't care. Plus 8y equals 16. And we know we have EXP rule where we can do this, I believe. Integral t, integral x in this case, I don't care. And then just multiply everything by at dy dt plus wait. Okay, fair enough. So in this case, it will be 64t. Am I right about this? Let me double check. If this is true, then we have a derivative of, we need this to be true, and is that true? But yeah, we can. We claim it's true, but we don't need that actually. Am I doing this wrong? Probably am. No, I don't think so. But yeah, okay. XP derivative integral. We can also just take the integral of this and just do the old-fashioned way, but um from what it looks like, he's gonna have well, let me just get my numerical. I'm pretty sure I'm correct, but it's been a long time since anybody had. Very embarrassed. No. Oh yeah, I did it correctly. Yeah. EXT, 8x, and then mu. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So oh right. I did some goofball shit over here. So that's why I was like, that doesn't make sense. We need E8t over here and E8t over here. So we have an 8 over here. Equal 16 E8t. Oh, so yeah, obviously these two are wrong because the B is wrong because we need 8t over here as a solution. Okay, can we tell between, I mean, I already can tell that this is probably wrong because we need 0. So when this is 0, this is equal to 2, no, 7, which is wrong. If this is 0, now we can already tell this is equal to 16 minus 5, so minus 11 plus 16, it is 7, so that's wrong. Over here, we can tell that this is 7, this is only one that's 5, so it's C. Okay, elimination down, it is C. There we go. Took a while on that one. Got how to do that stuff. Z transform, yeah, not gonna know how to do that. Oh, you're kidding me. There's no Z transform here. Oh, I'm gonna have to figure this out on my own. Okay, I'm gonna have to do Z transform on my own. Do I remember how to do Z transform? Not quite. I'm gonna have to rederive it basically if I were to do that. Oh yeah, generally I don't know how to do a Z transform. Great. Okay, so obviously it's a -5. So in any situation we have a Z transform, we are having a situation it's like sliding. So basically 2 and 2k cannot be answered because you're sliding it. So either it's A or B, D. And which of these two is the correct answer? I'm leaning towards D because this feels like analogous to a regular S transform. You know what? Let's just why don't they give me a Z table? That makes no sense. Why wouldn't they? Like it is to me it's fundamental that you give me a Z table. Um, don't know why they do that. I'm still so confused why they didn't give me a Z table. Because without Z table, this is controls. Why would you not give me a Z table? Okay, I'm gonna actually just look up Z tables on my phone because I am not. I'm gonna look up like how to do Z transform on my phone and just you know yeah here it is. Well, how oh interesting. It would seem to indicate over here that this is indeed, let me get my pen, this. Yeah. Oh, I could have gotten that. Yeah, obviously. Because think about it. Z transform is not continuous, it's discrete points, so there cannot be exponential. So why would there even be a thought of that? Maybe that's the point of that question. I don't think so. But this is separation, so we can just do a separation question. Okay, so we have well, I would have just done ln over here. Oh wait, you can't do ln. Well, we have dy multiplied by y over here, right? Clearly, you can use ln over here. And we have equal to x over x squared plus 9 by dx is basically what's happening. We integrate these two is what I would have traditionally done. But clearly, there's a sort of I mean, we can do partial fraction decomposition, but I don't know if we're doing it. There must be a shortcut here that I'm seeing. And obviously, because there's no plus c, I think this is clearly not the answer over here. And what am I not seeing here that can make this easy for myself? Because all of these questions, there must be an easy way to do it and not a hard way. Clearly, right? So what am I missing? Oh, I should probably write down the answers I gave because I need to like double check these answers because I don't know what the hell is going on with some of these questions, some of them, not all of them, because clearly I know most of how to do this, and I've attempted a few recordings that failed miserably. Oh wait, we could just plug it into here. I mean, why not? Because we are doing a multiple choice question anyway. Anyways, so if I plug it to here, um, this C drops, right? Arbitrary C. Let me just do the option A because that's much easier than option B. I personally think. So if I were to do that, it's x squared plus 9, parenthesis derivative of that, which is 1/2, 2x square root of x squared plus 9. Oh wait, this is not. Hmm, interesting. I actually think maybe I'm wrong because um I see that now that the C has to survive. So I think it's just C. It just has to be C then. I'm not sure yet. I'm double checking everything, but it probably is C. Probably. Because this derivative the C cannot fall off because C over here, if there's a Y over here, if that falls off, we're just doomed here. So C must be contained inside the question. Therefore, it must be C. It must be. I could double check with my own personal Wolfram Alpha later. But I mean we can check it now, actually. Yeah, why not check it now? But basically can you can see over here basically basically you can't have a question where you have a how do you say it? You can't have a question where there's a c and a c disappears because if there's a derivative of dy dx, that derivative that just disappeared, but there's a y on the other side, so that c must survive. Basically, is what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, I was right. Yeah, c is right. These questions are just about getting a trick right. I should probably check the other one too. Like this, I already checked I didn't check this one. But I think it's correct. We could just move on. All right, Euler approximation. So with Euler approximation, we need to like do a step function. So we kind of have to do a derivative. I mean, I never do this by hand anymore, so it might take like 5 minutes to like search up what Euler step is. But yeah, this is 107 stuff. Okay, so we have this, and we basically have to do step to the right, step to the left, and then push forward. That's basically what it's saying. And then that's pretty much all you have to do, right? So, let me just do that real quick, unless there's something I'm forgetting. So how do this again? So is x, so this differential, so it's x k plus 1 minus x k divided by, I believe it's delta t equal to equal to this, right? So what we have to do is sk plus 1 equal xk plus delta t dx dt. Am I correct? I think I am. So all I have to do is take a derivative of that, which is 2x over here. And then what does it want me to do? Given the increment time of 0, okay. And oh, so we're given x at 1. So over here, x at 1, this is given as 1. So this is 1 plus delta time, which is going to be, what was it again? 0.25. So we have to do this 2 times apparently, which is going to be a pain in the ass. 2x derivative, so it's 2x over here. And then that pretty much seals the deal. And then we just have to keep on doing it. So this is 1 over here. And then that is, let me grab my calculator and just do that real quick. So it's like 1 plus 0.25 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, which is 1.5, right? 1.5. So, and then we just iterate again, put that 1.5 back. So we're doing 1.5 plus 0.25 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1.5. And then that should give me 2.25 D. So that's, I'm pretty sure that's D. Okay. I need to double check that, but we'll do that later. Okay, this one, there's probably a little trick to this I'm not seeing. Because there's no way we're gonna get that solution off bat. So I see exponential over here. Um, maybe that's a bias, maybe that doesn't. But remember, if since this looks like all exploding, I already see the line where there's 2y double prime minus plus 10y double prime, and then is plus 8y equal e negative 2x. So here's the thing. This is a classic thing where it is basically all positive, and in controls, that means it's all stable, which means I'm leaning towards all exponential, so just give it an A. There's no reason for me to keep A even. Um, I mean, there is a reason if that ln is something that would have affected it, but I don't think it would. So, I would traditionally divide everything by 2, so let's just do a tradition where we do 5y prime plus 4y equal 1 divided by 2 e negative 2x. So it's 2, 1, 5, 4. So we have 154, and then we have exponential. So 154, so minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So we know we have negative 5 and plus or minus square root of 25 minus what it says, 4, 16. So this is 16. I made a mistake there. I calculated it wrong, but then it's divided by 2 because I thought a and thought 16, which is a mistake on my part. Um, Oh, this is a positive over here, positive. Also, it's all positive. Can I figure out what kind of positive it is? So this is over here, which is 25 minus 16, which is, according to my calculator, 9, which is 3. So 3, which means it's plus and minus, so it's 5. Minus is minus 8. Wait, did I do something wrong? I probably did. Probably fucking did. Oops. Probably out. Um, I will double check that, but I'm pretty sure. Hmm. I'll double check my calculations basically because negative 5, and then it's got plus second square root of 5 square minus 4 multiplied by a, which is 1, multiplied by c, which is 4, divided by 2. I think I just forgot the 2. So it's negative 1. So clearly this is wrong. And then what? I forgot to divide by 2, basically. That's the problem. So over here, then it's minus again over here. So it's 4. So 4, check mark, check mark. Okay. So unfortunately, it can either be C or D. Is there a way for me to figure out easily without looking at some weird at this point in the FA exam, I think I would just guess one and move on because what's the point of like looking for 5 hours on this one and just mark it on my paper to double check this. But I think it's gonna be there's a trick between the C and D. Uh, the trick probably related to the two I divided. Hmm. Yeah, there's probably a trick. I'm just not seeing it. Oh, maybe it's because of this one. So, there's a trick. Okay. So if this goes to 0, that's 1. That's 1 divided by 4. Negative 1 divided by 4. So that goes to 0, and this equals to 1. That's correct. 0, 0, 0. So that's 1, 1, 1. So let's just add those two up. I'm trying to get a shortcut out of here because I'm not about to waste your time doing algebra I don't want to do when you don't have to. 108 plus 1 divided by 36. There we go. There we go. Well, that those equal 0. But here, if you just plug in this, I should probably turn my camera and show you guys. Look, they don't turn into 1, so that means it's D. D. Check. And then we can just write D. Yeah. So there's a little trick to that one. There's a very much trick. What's the Laplace transformation of this wonderful equation that I am going to look up because I'm not a psychopath that knows how to do that immediately. Um, into the Laplace table over here. There we go. What? So you're telling me that you're giving me the A one but not the sine one? Okay, okay, handbook. Okay. And that's hilarious. But basically what you have to do is basically notice that the A is gone, so just delete that, delete that, delete that, and you get the original one. In this case you have what is it? One here, one here, one here, so one square. So I'm confused because okay, you have 1 divided by s squared plus 1, right? Is it plus 1 or minus 1? I don't really know. It's plus 1. Okay, I was right. All right. And then the other one is basically s minus, oh, it's s squared or just s? S squared because it's s squared. Of course it's s squared. S squared plus 1, which basically means there's s squared plus 1 square. Okay, so by the elimination of not trying to waste time, it must be a somehow. Because by just looking at this, no, it doesn't even make sense. What's going on? There must be a little bit of a shortcut I'm not seeing. What is that shortcut is the question. As you can see, half of this thing is just like finding the shortcuts. I mean, it's not really actually about solving the questions because if you're trying to solve a question, you already wasted enough of your time because you're not going to be able to solve everything. Um, so there must be like some kind of ta maybe Taylor series. No, there. I mean, if I was actually doing the FE exam, this is going to be a skip, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But because I can't find this, I mean, skip for now. I mean, just put the ABC down and just move on for now. But we're not doing the actual thing. So let's try to figure it out. What is the function over here that could have gotten this? So we need a Laplace over here, and then we need a, excuse me. So how do we do this? Is the question. Um, hmm. I don't think, hmm. I mean, shouldn't be that hard, although, in my opinion. So we have S over here, close over here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Hmm. What am I missing? Is this okay? So there's SS over here. Let's see. I'm just gonna look at my own table and see what's going on here. I don't think this question must have a way of doing it. Okay, I know for a fact it's gonna be A, although, because that's the only logical answer out of all four of them. But there must be. Let's go to E. When in doubt, go to imaginary space and hope we have something that we can guess from behind. So E ix plus minus, is it minus? Eix divided by 2I. Okay, so we know it's A, obviously, because that's the only logical answer here. But is there like a imaginary thing over here so I can actually figure out what we're supposed to do? Because I'm about to do imaginary real and just figure it out that way because that probably is faster. Then it's probably some kind of weird trick I'm not seeing. Not 100% guarantee there is, I just haven't seen it. Where's that? Probably somewhere here, actually. That I forgot all the way back. It kind of looks like, yeah, this is a trick. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so double angle theory. Okay, I used to memorize all that shenanigans a long time ago. Um, so obviously that would mean that it is. Can I delete this whole thing, please? Oh, it's not letting me erase. Great. Clear all drawings. So let me just draw it now. So it means that no, sine 2t equals 2 sine t cosine t over here and divide by 2. So sine 2t divided by 2 equals this function. So now we can take a Laplace of that, which is negative infinity to infinity with ei. You know what it is. So Laplace of that is clearly indicated by this. There's 2 over here. And then we can stay with 2 over there. We can look over here to the Laplace table, down over here, come down. The sine version, we have this as 0. So that would indicate that's a b on the top, which means there's a 2 on the top, right? Because b is the coefficient over here. So b on the 2 and then it's divided by 2, so that cancels out, so that's 1. And obviously there's an s squared plus 4. Great, cha-ching. So beautiful answer there. We can move on. It's clearly A, although no doubt about in my mind. So this one is going to be a good thing. There's always an easy way to do it and a hard way to do it. Now, a hard way to do it is actually doing the partial fraction decomposition. Yeah, no, let's just do this. Wait, maybe not. Maybe the hard way is not do the composition. Equal 20 divided by s plus 10. So we have a parentheses um we multiply by s ASC with s plus 10 plus b, and we have, oh, this goes away, s equal 20, right? And then with that said, we have a and b in here, and we can just say 1 is minus 10. Oh yeah, 1 is equal minus 10, then b equals in half minus half, which is reverse. So it must be B. No, 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 no. Oh no, don't delete everything. Reverse it, please. Yeah. Um, that's not technically 2. There's another 2 over here. So in that case, we can do, I don't know, s equals 0, and 0, 10. So 2 is actually D. So let's erase that. So it is D here. Yeah. And then you can double check this, honestly, by yourself, but I'm pretty sure that's D. You can check it yourself, honestly. I don't really care. Okay, it's taking forever. What's the inverse of plus of this one? So we already know it's like 2 2 divided by s plus 2 divided by s plus 10. Inverse of plus, you would just go to the handout again and just check out 1 divided by s, which is step function, which will give me basically a. So one of them is just a. Right, and then if a is it, that's all that's written, so it is basically c. There's no need to look anymore. I don't like these connection questions because it really penalizes you if you get one of them wrong. But check. Yeah, I think that's right. Hopefully, I don't really care too much. I just hope I'm decently right and moving on. So oh yeah. So what this is basically this is an s square. So both of these are wrong. Clearly, the trick is this is an s square plus 10s, and this is an s, yeah, so on. Excuse me. There must be a trick between these two. There's no way that no, okay, so basically these are just inverse of each other. So if you figure out which one's which, we got the answer. Um, okay, so over here is let's just look at this one. S squared plus 20s plus 525, 75, right? Okay, so that makes sense that one of them would undoubtedly be 7.5 and one of them would be 2, and we already gave itself as 5 and 10. So yeah, that makes sense. The question is, I don't want to do the, I hate to do this to you, but I just don't want to do the division. Yeah, so I don't want to divide this. I don't want to do it, basically. So I'm trying to look for a shortcut. Um, but I don't see one. So there's a S, I don't think there's a shortcut. I honestly don't think so. Unless someone can like just give me one, but I think you have to do a division over here, which is like s squared plus 20s plus 75, s squared plus 10s, that drill. And then we have 1, right? That'll give you 10s, so 10s is back. And then we have that as 10s plus 75, I guess. So basically you have a minus this, so you're gonna have delete, we're gonna have 1 minus 10s plus 75, I think. Uh minus 75 actually. Um yeah. Minus 75, and then you have again you have s squared plus 20s plus 75. Okay, we have that. Now from this you have to get the other two out. The question is how you get the other two out. I'm thinking you just, well, I'm trying to think of a easy way to do it, but in my opinion there's probably just one way to do it, which is just getting it done. And I'm not looking forward to it. There's a limit way too, but in this case I think it's best to just, oh wait, there's a group theory, right? There's a group way. Uh, yeah, the scoop way. Um, hmm. Will that work here? No, maybe. Uh-oh. I mean, if this has to equal that, basically you multiply everything and then you just erase everything. Let me just delete this. And once my computer battery dies, we're stopping. We have s parentheses s plus 10, and then no, s plus 5, s plus 15, and then we have this, and then what was it again? Minus, I think it was like 10s minus 75, right? Equals s squared plus 10, right? Am I correct? I think I'm correct. Uh, so instead of doing it the way I was doing, um, here's a genius. We can make it equal to 1 minus a parentheses s plus 15. and then minus b s plus 15, and we can group these terms because you have ss here, s squared over here, and then we know that this is true. Yeah, I think we can. Okay. We could do this, and then this, if I were to do this, is I multiply those two out again. Now this must be the truth. So this cancels out that. This must be true. Now, what should I do? So a plus b, I think I'm doing it the harder way, must equal 10 from looking at that. And then 15a plus 5b, I think, must equal 75 from the looks of it. Okay, and now we have two. Oh, I definitely did the harder way. Okay, this is just the harder way. I was thinking of this might be the easy way because I remember the controls like TA did this way and it looked faster, but it's not for this question. Oh well. And then you can solve this. I guess I'm stuck solving it this way, although. A equal 10 minus b, and a plug into here, which is 15. 10 minus b, which is plus 5b, equals 75. Oh, what am I doing? I have a calculator. Duh! I'm a moron! All right. System solver. Like I have a system solver on here. Why am I not using the tools given to me? So like 15 over here, and then there's a 15 over here, and there's what is this? 75? And then there's a 1 over here, and there's a 1 over here, and there's a 10 over here. Solve it. It gave me no solutions. Okay, let me just that is right. There's a 15, 15. Oh, there's 5 here. I don't know why I chose to do 5, 15, 15. Okay, now it should work. Okay, I get 5 divided by 2 and 15 divided by 2. Hallelujah. Okay, so that is and that is for x equal 5.2, so it must be D because one of them is greater than that. And I know which ones have to be greater. So this is D. Okay, delete this. I didn't expect it to take this long. Okay, the Laplace transformation. Last time it was this, so we just do a Laplace transformation of that. We know one of them is a constant. Are you just giving me this for free? Because that's just D again. That's not special. Okay, so you just gave me that for free. I don't understand why, but okay. So next one is doing this one, which looks like a cosine E. So I'm already deleting those because there's no need for me to do it. And then the 20 can go away because it's just confusing me. X, and then we can do S squared. I don't know, plus something. But we already have S squared, so what is that in the cosine world? That is already cosine there. Okay, so it's clearly one of the cosines over here. Right? I mean, this no duh, that's one of the cosine, right? I'm not fibbing here, right? And then you just solve one of the questions and you're done. The question is which one? I guess we can solve for that one too, actually. So, I mean, there might be a minus over here, so something's wrong here. I know something's wrong. I know something's wrong because the beta must be here. Beta is 5 or 15. That means there's a minus 15 over here, and that means there's a sign over here, which means that something's wrong. I am not getting the impression that I did this correctly. No, something's wrong, terribly wrong here. Um, Is there an inverse Laplace transformation function in my calculator before I do any of these fancy math? Because last time I got burned by it, by not checking. I don't think so. Also, I should probably check some of these stuff before I arbitrarily try to solve it. I think there is not, hopefully. Yeah, I don't think there is any like underlying secret trick to this. You just have to solve it. Okay. So, all right, there isn't any. All right, let's just do minus b. Actually, just by looking at that, these two cannot be the answer then. So these two must be the answer. So then minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So that means b, so 20 minus plus or minus square root of 20 square minus 4, and then a, so 75 divided by 2. Okay, so there's clearly a. That because there's two solutions there. If there's one solution, then yeah, B can be the answer, and we have to accept that. But no, it's clearly it's what's